Okay, hey, welcome to this. This is the COMP408 sort of documentation video for Project 2. Um, this specifically is looking at the last part of the assignment, which is um, the Maya to PBRT back to Maya again material sort of um, plugin. Um, so I thought before we start, I would show you just the general file structure of what we're playing around with. So you can set this up on your own machine. So it might look a little bit different for you guys, but I'm in the applications Autodesk folder. I jump to Maya 215 and then open up the Maya app to get to this folder. Now we need to go to two places from here. The first one we'll go to is within the macOS plugins folder. This might be different on different operating systems, but generally speaking, the structure should be the same. And we want pbrt material.py to be in there, as well as the folder pbrt material source. And within there are all these the PYCs and the PYs. So this all will be attached within the sort of script directory as part of this hand-in. The other folder we want to go to from this directory is the scripts folder, and then to the AE templates, standing for attribute editor templates. And we want to find or we want to drop in the AE PBRT shader template, which is the custom one we've created for this node to visualize it more nicely in the attribute editor. Great, so we've done that. We'll minimize that. We'll jump across to Sublime Text, just sort of so we can get an idea of what we need to change to get this plugin to run on our own system. The main thing we need to change is this path here. So for me, it's PBRT is located on my desktop. You'll need to change it to wherever it is on your system. Apart from that, everything here is set up to sort of accommodate a general Maya node. Yeah, so no surprises there. This is the PBRT attribute editor shader file. We do need to change one path in here, and it's this guy here. So this is also to your PBRT directory, wherever that may be, and with the PBRT thumbnail.tga on the end. You can leave this this image name the same. That is what the plugin's going to or load back in the rendered image as. You can see there's a duplicate path here, but I've commented this out. This was a sort of like development endeavor that didn't work. And over here we've got the guts of everything else in the system. This basically generates the PBRT file, and these two classes respectively hold the texture and material attributes needed for the plugin. Great, so now that we've set that up, we'll just give this a bit of a run through. So the first thing we need to do is actually load in the plugin. I've got a bit of a utility script here. All that it does is imports my commands and loads the plugin pbrt So I'll hit that. Alternatively, you can go to Window, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager, and select the tick on pbrt Having done that, we can create a generic sphere, set it up. We do this so that we've got a mesh to assign the material to. We want to assign a new material and select PBRT shader. Having done that, it'll pop up with the PBRT shader tab, and you can see a nice little interface for all our node parameters. Now there's a little bit of a bug with the system, and that's that on the first run through, the way it's constructed is that it doesn't automatically refresh until we provide it with a swatch sort of prompt to tell it to. And the way we can do that is just switch to the shader shading group and see that the swatch pops up here. Great, now that we've done that, the material is ready to be edited and to update in real time. So if we switch back to the PBRT shader, we can play around with different attribute parameters. For example, we could change the material to Uber to give it a kind of shine. perhaps change the texture to wrinkled to show the default implementation from PBRT. If we switch back to my custom texture, the rock texture, and switch the material back to matte, we can move down, going past the material attributes. We can even apply texture bump to apply a certain bump mapping, or play around with the Limburtian reflection parameter. We can change the colors for the rock texture, make the base color brighter, make the secondary tarnish color darker. Perhaps even if we click on here, we can change the highlights so that they're sort of red, and this looks terrible. We'll change the shadow color, if I can find there we go. Perhaps to a yellow, just to create something that looks absolutely disgusting. Oh, it didn't update for me, but you see the idea. By changing the octaves, we can get dramatic changes in how the rendered output looks, or simply change the jaggedness amount to play around with sort of the roughness of the shape. If we leave these, set these back to what they were, so 0.7 and 8.0, and we'll scroll that back in, we can play around with a few of these custom parameters. So the compression kind of changes the amount of ridges and how close together the ridges are on the rock face. The turb power provides some noise to these ridges, so increasing that will create more of a displacement. The voxel density can be changed as well to change various track matting parameters, and all of this is further detailed within the report. The grit factor provides finer detail. Crevasse grouping can be modified to change how the valleys sort of group together, or if they do at all. Crevasse spread can also be modified to achieve a similar sort of effect, and if we bump that all the way up, we can get quite a bit of bumping. Finally, the specular transparency, or sorry, not the specular, but the actual specks on the rock can be changed as well for varying effect. And that's pretty much it. So the real-time update and the render view, and all the parameters here in the node. That's the plugin. So have fun playing around with those parameters. Thank you.